All right, here we go. This is how you would do part 2 of the Skittles experiment that we're working with on Google Sheets. I'm going to use period 1's data and their like instruction sheet to demonstrate this. It would be the same for period 4 and period 7. The cell references might be a little bit different. The cells where you put things are a little different. But if you watch this, you should see how this is all done. There is a help page here, and the value of the help page this time is that like right here where it goes into the part about the formulas, it tells you exactly, and there's a different help page for every class. So it's set up for for period 1, period 4, and period 7. It tells you what cell to go to and what the formula looks like that you need to type, and then what to do with it. And it tells you that for every formula on here. It tells you what cell to click in, what the formula needs to look like, and then what to do with it to get it like put everywhere that you need to put it. And you do have to format this when you're all done with it, so don't forget to do that. All right, so the handout, the document here could really be pretty useful today if you pull it up in one tab and have it open while you're working. Now, I'm going to go back here and I'll get the Google Sheet up, and let me get rid of this thing. And again, I'm using period 1 as an example, but period 4 and period 7 are very similar. I've got to do my thing where I make a copy, but you all will not have to do that. So I'm going to make my copy. And let me close the original. All right, so here we go. Now you can see, first of all, that we're going to start. Dylan, in first hour, Dylan Batten's at the top of the list because alphabetical order, right? So we're going to start by calculating a total right here. I want to know, first of all, my first question is, how many Skittles did Dylan have in his bag? So to find that out, we just take these numbers right here and we just add them up. We've done this a million times, right? Now remember, don't look down here and see, well, it's telling me down here in the corner it's 59, so I'm just going to type 59 there. Don't do that. You lose points if you do that. Don't do that. I've said that over and over. Yeah, and don't do it in your head, and don't get a calculator out and punch in the numbers and then put the number over here. Don't do that. What you got to do is come up here to the little functions button. We're going to calculate a sum. It's going to look like this. And I'll press enter, boom, right? And it's going to do this suggested autofill. So yeah, great, that's exactly what we want. So we want it to go all the way down. Now, we're starting to see, and don't worry if it extended down here a little farther. I'll just hit backspace on those. I don't really need those down there. But don't worry about that, that's okay. So now we're seeing, one of the questions that we were asking is, like if you buy a bag of Skittles, are all the bags the same? Well, okay, no. Because I can see like 57 and there's 56 and there's 60 and there's a 61 and a 59. And so, yeah, no, the answer is no. You don't always get the same number, but it's pretty close. And we're starting to see about how many you get. And we're going to do some other calculations as we go along here. All right, so here's our next thing. Now what we're going to do, there are 5 different colors, and then you have this total column as well. So there are 5 different colors. We're going to take all of the reds, and we're going to find out right here in this cell, and in this case it's C29, but in the other classes it might be a different cell. It's just right at the bottom of that column, right? So it's going to be everything from that's C5 down to C28. So I'm just going to do it like this. I'm going to do equals sum parenthesis. I'm just going to type it myself. You could do it a different way, but I'm just going to type it myself. All right, so I'm going to do equals sum parenthesis, and I said it starts at C5. That's where Dylan is. I'll put a colon right there, and then I'm going to go, and it's even suggesting that it knows what I want, and I think it's right, but I'm going to go ahead and finish typing it in. Nolan Wright, his red Skittles are at C28, so I'm just going to say C28, and I think Google Sheets had that figured out anyway. I'm going to hit the parenthesis there, and I'll press enter. Now, it's saying, would you like for me to autofill? And in this case, do I really want that? Answer's no. I do not want that. I don't want that to auto-fill down to here. These are going to be different calculations. So no, thank you. I'm going to hit the X. I don't want that. But I do want this to be copied over for all of the other colors. We had 300 red in first hour. And to see, the question we're about to ask is, was there a color that you get more of usually, right? Or a color that's most common? So I'm just going to drag this over like that, and boom. And it does look like, at least in first hour, it's close, but what's that? Is that green? So 307 green, 300 red. That's how it turned out in first hour. There are a few more green than red, but it's, it's fairly close. Purple, it looks like, is coming in last at 242. All right. Our next calculation is going to be the average number. We're going to start with the average number of red in a bag of Skittles. On the average, how many red M&Ms do you get? Well, all right. Again, I'm just going to type it myself. And remember, I told you that if you can't, if you're doing the assignment and you think, gosh, I can't remember, what's that formula look like? It's on the help page, which is posted on Google Classroom. These are the answers, folks. This is the answer to the question right here. All right. Anyway, here we go. I'm going to go equals and go average. And I think, again, it's going to pop up here. That very top thing on that pop-up menu is saying, do you want me to calculate the average of C5 to C28? And I think the answer is yes. I could click on that, and I believe the answer is yes. I might just for kicks and giggles, go ahead and type it out. Average, parenthesis, C5, colon, C28, and close parentheses. Boom. And that's what Google Sheets was suggesting. If you'd like to take Google Sheets suggestion, then go ahead and do it. All right, so 12.5 on the average for red M&Ms. On the average, usually you're going to have, round it up if you want to, 13. All right, so I'm going to take this over. And now this is where we've got some repeating decimals happening here. And if this happens to you, you can come up on the toolbar to this button where you've got the 0 with the left arrow and kind of go click, click. Ooh, boy, that took them all the way down. I don't think I wanted to take them all the way down. This one will increase the decimal places, so I might put it at 3 decimal spots and go with that. All right. Here's our next thing that we're going to have the computer do. We're going to tell it, where it says highest right here, we're going to tell the computer to go look at all the red M&Ms and find the highest number in that set of numbers right there. I see a 16, but is that the highest number? I don't know. Here's how you do it. Start with equals and it's a code, right? It's max, M-A-X. And I'm going to do a parenthesis. All right, max just means maximum. Find the biggest number. All right, so that's what we're telling the computer to do. Go look at all the red M&Ms and find the biggest number. To tell it to look at all the red M&Ms, I just do the same thing we've been doing. C5 colon C28 and close the parentheses. So let's translate that. We're telling it to go look at all of the red M&Ms and find the biggest number. And it came up with a 22. Did somebody really have 22 red M&Ms? Yep, right there. I hope that was an accurate count. All right, anyway, now I'm just going to take that and duplicate that over. Mouse is being a little slow, sorry, and there we go. So now we know the max of the highest bag that anybody had was a 62. That was Emma in first hour. Emma had 62. Maybe somebody else did too. I don't know. There could have been somebody else in a tie with that. All right, come on. My computer's being all laggy. Sorry about that. Okay, we're getting back. Okay, now here's our next calculation. This time, it's very similar to what we just did, but I'm going to tell the computer to go look at all of the red M&Ms, that whole list of red M&Ms, and find the lowest number. I see a 7 right there. Was that the lowest number? Maybe. Let's go find out. Here's how you do it. Equals, and then it's going to be, and look, it's, again, it's trying to be smart here. It has come up with a guess. Do you want me to do the minimum? It's MIN. Of C5 to C28, C5 colon C28? And the answer to that's yes, really. I think, again, just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to go ahead and type it min C5 C28, close parentheses. It was, I mean, I could have just clicked on that and it would have said, yeah, that would have been okay. That was what I wanted. But I'll just go ahead and press enter. All right. So 7 was the lowest number. Emma had that, and maybe somebody else did too. I don't know. But it's funny. Emma had the lowest red and the highest in the bag. Look at that. All right. So I'm going to drag that over. And the lowest in the bag was 53. You know, the smallest bag was a 53. Who had that? Oh, Brandon, sorry. You only got 53 Skittles. Wah, wah. All right. Now, the range is this. All right. People get this wrong all the time, so look carefully. The range is highest minus lowest. It's a subtraction problem. What is the difference between those two numbers right there? All right. And I know, once again, please, please, please hear me. The math is easy. It's not hard math. The answer is 15, 22 minus 7. But don't do it. Don't just put a 15. Don't do that. Here's what you do. Equals. And we look at what cell is that 22 in? Well, that 22 is in cell C32. Sorry, that's not right. It's in C31. There. And then I'm just going to put a minus sign. That's just the dash, a minus sign. And then I'm going to subtract C32. So we've done this before, but it's just a subtraction problem. C31 minus C32. And what the computer does is look at those numbers and say 22 minus 7. Close parentheses, press enter. There was a problem. Oh, I didn't start. I don't need parentheses on that. What was I? I'm just in the habit of parentheses. All right. Sorry, don't need parentheses on that. C31 minus C32, and I'll click right back up here and duplicate this over. Boom. And there we go. All right. So, and again, the range is showing the difference between the highest number and the lowest number. So like on orange, somebody had 17 and somebody had 5, and the difference between those two is 12. Right? That's all that is. And down here, the biggest bag we said was Emma, and she had 62. And Brandon had 53. And so the difference that we had from bag to bag, the range that we had was 9 Skittles, right? The biggest bag we had was here. The smallest bag we had was here. That's a difference of 9. So there we go. Now, the only other thing you have to do, I'm going to zoom out here a little bit, is you got to format this a little bit, right? You got to take your data, and format it a bit. I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to go to that format menu and do alternating colors because it's really fast. It's a very fast way. I'm just going to go to format, alternating colors, and just pick something I like and click done, and bingo. Look, there we go. Formatted. So that's how I'm going to do mine. But you can format it any way you want to. It's up to you. Look, assignment done. It is your turn.